kindergartners, it's Mrs. Brown, and I'm excited to spend some time with you today. The math lesson we will be exploring is called Combinations of 6. It is lesson 2 for the week of May 4th through May 8th, 2020 in your paper packet. Finding different ways to make the number 6 will help us as we look at a new type of story problem. I hope you're ready for some fun. Today's objective is to solve story problems by modeling the action of combining and separating situations in order to find flexible and strategic ways to solve real-world problems. We have practiced modeling the action of a story problem by acting out the story, drawing pictures, using counters, and writing equations. And we know the difference between combining and separating situations. Combining involves joining or putting together, while separating involves taking apart or removing. The problems we will solve today will require us to use both our addition and subtraction strategies, as well as our good thinking, to help us find smart ways to solve problems that have more than one right answer. Let's fire up our math brains by playing a fun game together. The game is called Total of 6. In order to play, you will need a set of 6 counters. You could use something from around the house like buttons, coins, Cheerios, or even some small toys. You will also need some of the primary number cards. We use these cards to play double compare during lesson 2 of week April 20th through the 24th. Remove the 7 through 10 wild cards. We will only need the numbers 0 through 6 for this game. After you mix up the cards, lay out 12 of them in 3 rows with 4 cards in each row. Put the remaining cards in a pile face down. You will also need the Total of 6 recording sheet and a pencil nearby. To play Total of 6, you must use the number cards to find a combination that will make 6. What numbers can you combine to make a total of 6? Do you already know a combination from memory? Or can you use the pictures on the cards to find a way to make 6? You can use the counters to find different combinations as well. Remember, we already have 6 counters on our part whole mat. We want to find different combinations to make this total. We can separate the counters in different ways to help us with choosing the number cards. Let's give it a try. I want to use the number 3 card, but I'm not sure what other number can be combined with 3 to make a total of 6. I can use my counters to help me find the other part. I will move 3 of my counters into the first part of my mat. They represent the 3 on my card. Now I can see that I will have 3 remaining counters for my other part. I will need another 3 card to make a total of 6. I can write my combination on the recording sheet. 3 plus 3 equals 6. By thinking about separating and then combining the counters, I was able to find a total of 6. I will keep the 2 3 cards in my own combination pile and then fill the empty spaces of my game board with 2 new cards from the draw pile. Another way to find the total of 6 is to use the pictures on the number cards to help you. For example, maybe you would want to find a combination using the number 2. You could say 2 and then count on while pointing to the pictures on another card. Let's try with the number card 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, that's a total of 7. 7 is 1 more than 6, so I would need to think about a number that is 1 less than 5 to combine with 2. What number is 1 less than 5? That's right, 4. Let's see if that works. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 and 4 can be combined to make a total of 6. I can write the equation 2 plus 4 equals 6 on the recording sheet. I wonder if there might be a way to make a total of 6 by combining more than 2 cards. Do you think you could use 3 or 4 cards to make a total of 6? Take a moment and share your thinking with someone nearby. I might give this one a try. I will use the 6 counters to help me, but instead of using the part whole mat, which only has 2 parts, I will take that away and just use the counters to see if I can separate them into more than 2 parts. I was thinking that since I want to use more than 2 numbers, I should probably start with a lesser number like 1, since a greater number like 5 is already so close to the total of 6. I will separate one counter. Now I will choose the 3 card and separate 3 more counters. That leaves 2 counters, and there is a 2 card, so I will use that to finish my combination. All that's left is to write an equation. 1 plus 3 plus 2 equals 6. I will add that to my recording sheet. Wow! I wonder if you can make totals of 6 with more than 3 cards. How could you use the 0 card in your combinations? Take a moment and share your thinking with someone nearby. You and a partner can continue to play total of 6 until no more combinations of 6 can be made, or until you fill up your recording sheet with combinations. If you are ready for a challenge, you can also try playing with a different total, like the number 10. You may need to add some of the greater numbers back into the pile. Let's take all of your great math thinking from the game and use it to help us solve some story problems. We will continue to use the story problem routine to guide us along the way. As I read the story, pay close attention and create a picture in your mind. Be ready for an exciting twist. Here we go. I have 6 crayons in all. Some are red and some are blue. How many of each color could I have? How many are blue? How many are red? Wow, I heard 3 questions. Did you? Listen carefully one more time as I read the story again, and then take a moment to tell this story in your own words and act it out for someone nearby. Ready to listen? I have 6 crayons in all. Some are red and some are blue. How many of each color could I have? How many blue? How many red? The story says that I have 6 crayons in all. Some of those crayons are red and some are blue. The story then asks me how many of each color could I have? When we were acting out this story, did you pretend to have crayons in your hand? Could you have had more red crayons than blue crayons? Could you have had the same number of red and blue crayons? What combinations of red and blue crayons could you have? How is finding the combination of 6 red and blue crayons in this story the same and different from the total of 6 game we just played? Take a moment and share your thinking with someone nearby. Did you talk about how both the game and this story are asking us to find different combinations for the total of 6? The red and blue crayons are the 2 parts that make a total of 6 crayons in all. The story is different than the game because we are only finding combinations with 2 parts, red and blue. In the game, we found combinations that had 2, 3, and 4 numbers that made a total of 6. In the game, we also had a 0 card that we could use in making the combinations. But in this story, it says there are some red and some blue crayons. If there are some of each color, then we cannot use 0 because that would mean none of one color. To solve this problem, you can use the 6 crayons in all resource sheet found in your paper packet. This is a picture from the resource sheet. We can use it to help us organize our thinking as we work to solve the problem. You will also want to use a red and blue crayon to help show your solution. Remember, just like in the game, we will be looking for more than one combination. There will be more than one right answer. Let's try and find a possible answer together. We can color the counters to help us solve and then write the numbers and equation to show our combination. If we start with just one red crayon and make the rest of the crayons blue, how many blue will that be? You're right, 5. We can write an equation to show our first combination. 1 plus 5 equals 6. 1 red crayon and 5 blue crayons is one possible answer. Let's do one more together. Since I began with 1 crayon last time, let's start with 2 red crayons this time. I can color 2 red and write the number to show the first part of my new combination. Tell someone nearby what I need to do next in order to finish the other part of my combination of crayons. Did you say I need to color the rest of the counters blue? To represent the blue crayons, and now write the number. How many blue crayons will there be if I already have 2 red crayons? I hope you said 4. What equation should I write? I wrote 2 plus 4 equals 6. Our second combination shows that we have 2 red and 4 blue crayons in all. Keep working to find more possible combinations for this problem. When you have filled in the rest of the table, look at the numbers and equations to see if you notice any patterns. Share your thinking and solution with someone nearby. You have had lots of practice with finding combinations for 6 today, but I am wondering if you can take what you have learned and use it to solve a similar problem with a different total. Remember, you can play today's game with a different total if it helps you think about different combinations for a new number. When you are ready, complete the 5 crayons in all resource sheet found within your paper packet. Make sure to keep these papers in a safe place so you can share them with your teacher. Thanks for spending time with me, kindergartners. Have an awesome day.